A new report is pulling back the curtain on what allegedly happened inside the White House as pressure mounted over the Jeffrey Epstein files controversy, and one reported idea in particular is raising eyebrows. According to an excerpt published by the New York Times Magazine from the upcoming book Regime Change: Inside the Imperial Presidency of Donald Trump, Vice President JD Vance allegedly floated a surprising proposal during a closed-door discussion. The idea? Have conservative commentator Tucker Carlson interview convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell. The reported meeting allegedly took place inside the White House Situation Room on July 17, 2025, just days after the Department of Justice and the FBI released a memo saying investigators found no evidence supporting the existence of a so-called Epstein client list. But instead of calming speculation, the report claims the backlash only intensified. According to the account, parts of Trump's own MAGA base remained unconvinced and continued demanding answers surrounding the Epstein files, and that is reportedly where the Tucker Carlson proposal entered the conversation. According to the report, JD Vance allegedly viewed the situation as becoming politically damaging and believed greater transparency could help cool public anger. One of his ideas reportedly discussed was allowing Maxwell's to speak publicly through an interview conducted by Carlson. But the proposal reportedly ran into immediate resistance inside the room. Officials allegedly raised concerns over what Maxwell could ask for in return if she agreed to cooperate. That included fears she could seek concessions, including discussion around a possible pardon or reduced sentence. According to the report, Communications Director Stephen Chung reportedly warned that any move involving Maxwell could trigger a major public relations disaster. Instead, officials reportedly explored other alternatives. Those options allegedly included petitioning courts to unseal grand jury testimony, or arranging for Justice Department officials to conduct another interview with Maxwell and release transcripts publicly. At this stage, the reported discussion remains an account described in the upcoming book and has not been independently confirmed by the White House. But the alleged proposal has already added another layer of intrigue to the continuing fallout surrounding the Epstein files and renewed questions over how far officials considered going to manage the controversy. This comes at the time when Bill Gates' personal admissions during a high-profile congressional hearing tied to the Jeffrey Epstein investigation is already making headlines.
Bill Gates has made one of his most personal admissions yet during a high-profile congressional hearing tied to the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. The Microsoft co-founder revealed that Epstein became aware of deeply sensitive details about his private life and allegedly tried to use that information to maintain influence over him. The disclosure came as Gates testified before lawmakers examining Epstein's network of powerful associates. According to prepared remarks submitted to the House Oversight Committee, Gates acknowledged that he had been unfaithful during his marriage to Melinda Gates. He described the revelation as painful for his family and claimed Epstein later became aware of the situation. Gates said the financier attempted to use that knowledge as leverage after their relationship began to deteriorate. In his testimony, Gates stated, quote, "I learned Epstein had become aware of sensitive information about my personal life, including the fact that I had been unfaithful in my marriage." He added that the affairs had no connection to his interactions with Epstein, but admitted the situation caused significant personal pain. The billionaire philanthropist told investigators that his association with Epstein began in 2011. At the time, Epstein had already pleaded guilty in Florida years earlier to soliciting prostitution from a minor and was a registered sex offender. Gates said he accepted introductions to Epstein because of promises that the financier could help support major global public health and philanthropic initiatives. However, Gates now says that decision was a serious mistake. During the hearing, Gates acknowledged that he failed to apply the level of scrutiny he should have before meeting Epstein. Gates said that while he knew Epstein had faced legal troubles, he did not fully understand the extent of the crimes associated with him. As their relationship developed, Gates said his interactions with Epstein remained limited. He testified that he cut off contact with Epstein entirely in 2014. But according to Gates, the disgraced financier continued attempting to reconnect and allegedly used knowledge of his personal affairs as part of that effort. Gates claimed Epstein layered additional falsehoods on top of the information he possessed in an effort to pressure him. Despite those attempts, Gates said Epstein was unsuccessful in restoring the relationship. The tech billionaire told lawmakers that the experience demonstrated how Epstein sought to manipulate influential figures for his own benefit. The Microsoft founder also expressed regret over ever meeting Epstein. Gates told the committee that he should never have entered into the relationship in the first place. He stressed that his association with Epstein ended years before the financier's arrest and death, and that he had no involvement in or knowledge of Epstein's criminal activities. The testimony marks another major development in Congress's ongoing review of the Epstein files. Lawmakers have said the goal is to better understand Epstein's network and determine whether victims were failed by powerful institutions. Before entering the hearing, Gates briefly spoke to reporters and emphasized that he appeared voluntarily. He said he hoped his testimony would assist investigators and contribute to efforts aimed at securing justice for Epstein's victims. Committee Chairman Comer also noted before the hearing that Gates was not being accused of any wrongdoing. The release of Gates' testimony is expected to reignite debate over the relationships Epstein cultivated with influential figures across business, politics, and philanthropy. While Gates maintains he ended contact more than a decade ago, his admission about Epstein's alleged use of personal secrets has added a new and highly personal dimension to the ongoing investigation.
Glad to be here voluntarily to testify, to help with the committee's work. I'll start with an opening statement in the hearing room. I hope my testimony is helpful to the important work of the committee to find justice for the victims. Thank you.